saying I don't wait for no pussy. The pussy on me, I'm a cutter. She trying to be part of my schedule. I told her, "Ho, come back tomorrow." I'm seeing that hoe out the water.
Alright, so shout out to Necron and Man in the suit for this here. If you guys hear anything, I'm just managing some laundry right now. But let's actually talk about it. Now, I won't information dump everything, but prepare to learn about some new versions or some older versions of Optimus Prime other than IDW, as well as we're going to use, well, I guess just comics in general for Godzilla and Optimus here, while we're using the most powerful versions of the DC ones, or at least, their mainline continuities. So with that being said here, let's talk about this. Round 1 or level 1 and level 2 have absolutely nothing to offer. Level 1 especially. Why the heck is they here? I mean, Batman dead, Spider-Man dead, Deathstroke locked up, and Black Panther sent home to Wakanda. So, with that being said, I don't think the other team, which is Iron Man, Blue Beetle, Cyborg, and Hawkman, have anything else. The best they have is really their technology, respectively, with Iron Man being the most threatening of the group. Sorry, but, Cyborg really ain't doing nothing either. And Blue Beetle really hasn't done anything relevant since his Rebirth run, which was barely paid attention to, so... Yeah, Optimus has the Matrix. I've already explained in other videos that Optimus Matrix protects him from corrupting influences or things that might try to infect him. And Godzilla. Iron Man was literally a part of the original team that fought Godzilla in the classic days as well. And the funny part is, again, remember, this is Showa Godzilla, and we know other versions of Godzilla scale above that. So, absolutely devious work right there. And the funny part about it is Iron Man was barely in the fight. Like he was there blasting and everything, but again, he was barely relevant to the entire fight in general. Like, he got one-shotted, and then the other Avengers simply had to carry or at least try their best efforts against it. So yeah, they cleared this round with absolutely low difficulty. But now let's get into something more difficult. Or it would have been difficult if I didn't read the Marvel Godzilla comics. Level 3, Wonder Woman, Hyperion, Captain Atom, and Silver Surfer. Captain Atom is nothing more than Godzilla's next power source, and so is Silver Surfer. Unfortunately, in Captain Atom's own words, he is nuclear energy. So he's Godzilla's breakfast, lunch, and dinner all in one go, unfortunately. But with that being said, we know Godzilla can also drain the power cosmic from Silver Surfer and absorb it pretty well. Then he also grabbed King Ghidorah, who had the power cosmic as well, and drained all of it out of him forcefully, okay? And then eventually had to expel all that power cosmic, because again, Ghidorah can also absorb energy as well. So it's better that none of them have it instead of, one of them having it. It's just kind of common sense. Then he also absorbed Hulk's gamma radiation, and, well, you see what happened here, right? So with that being said, Captain Atom and Silver Surfer would be feeding Godzilla. Silver Surfer would actually recognize it first and then try to change up tactics, but by the time he really does, it's very possible he gave Godzilla enough power, and Captain Atom's basically just gone. Meaning that Hyperion and Wonder Woman would actually be some of the actual genuine threats here. And with that being said, Hyperion, or should I say Fraud-perion, of the Fraudrin Supreme, has had some incredible feats. But, when you find out that this reality is not only fake, but the fact that this dude was also struggling with the likes of Thor, Black Panther was able to manhandle his face and redirect his atomic or, hypervision or whatever. And the fact that the Hedron Cube literally gave them plot armor, and yet they still lost. Absolutely ridiculous. And you might say, oh, well, Hyperion can just overwhelm, Optimus and Godzilla with his super speed, right? We don't even know if half of that speed is actually even his, or if it's from the Hedron Cube. Now, can I say he's definitely faster than light? Yes, I can definitely give him that. But for the whole blitzing Silver Surfer and stuff like that, knowing good and well that characters like Captain America and Black Panther have been able to evade and knock him out, and then the fact that he was still struggling with a depowered and weakened Thor, Yeah, it's not. It's not convincing. Plus, we have other versions like Cloud Optimus who have been able to literally handle beings with higher levels of reality warping than a small little Hedron cube. Literally beings that could literally change the fabric of their respective multiverses or their respective continuities and just straight up handle them. So that means the real threat is actually Wonder Woman. And believe it or not, I do believe Wonder Woman is on the same level as pre-current or pre-Odin Force Thor. I don't think that's bad to say here. I definitely think she can definitely fight him and give him a good fight as well. Probably even beat him. But then again, there is her, I guess you could say, somewhat small weakness to electricity. So it kind of is what it is. But again, Wonder Woman is a genuine threat. And again, I know it's going to say, oh, what about her atomic splitting sword and stuff like that? And her, lasso, plus, her better combat speed. Yeah, she got all that. But what's that going to do against a giant monster? I mean, he could easily manhandle her with the lasso. And he's literally taking attacks that affect on a molecular level. King Ghidorah's gravity beams affect on I think a subatomic level. And Destroyer is literally the oxygen destroyer. Literally attacking on a microscopic to molecular level and stuff like that. Then there's Optimus. He's definitely fine from atomic level attacks. He tanks antimatter on the daily. Because Megatron literally powers up or uses it when he fires his fusion cannon. Then there are stronger versions of Optimus, like Black Convoy Optimus, which is basically like Silver Surfer Black, just pushing himself to his whole limits. So, unfortunately, Wonder Woman is going to fall. Next off is round 4. And I'm just going to have to say this. This still isn't going to make a difference. The only threats here are really Superman, Hulk, Thor, and Wally West is just one tap away from just getting dropped. You want to say, oh, well, what about Speed still? Again, Optimus Prime in the Matrix protect him from corrupting or infecting influences. Wally trying to take his speed would actually count as well. Plus, I'm not sure if Wally could even take his speed because he doesn't have a real connection to any form of, I guess you could say, speed-based power sets in general. But then again, if he does try it, the Matrix can simply just be like, no, not going to happen. And keep in mind, there are Optimuses that have been able to harm stronger versions or stronger avatars of Unicron, which have literally been able to attack and even eat his own narrative like it's nothing. That combined with the fact that Godzilla has even fought Superman that was supposed to be as strong as the original. I understand we do have gripes with the writer saying this, but again, keep in mind, this is his own comic and he can make it how he wants to. So with those of us complaining about the fact that this isn't, a guy as strong or a version as strong as the real Superman because of history, I don't think it would really make a solid difference considering the fact that the writer has it, even if the characters' histories are different, because again, there are alternate Earths, so we just kind of have to accept that. But overall, yes, Godzilla and Optimus do clear. Too many powerful versions and too many feats that put them consistently above the others. Peace. Bro said this was going to be a tiny bit harder, but dude gave me the first 3 rounds of easiness. But let's talk about this, right? These first 2 rounds are not a challenge for Optimus. Not even at all. I don't even know why y'all saying Sinestro is beating Optimus. You're giving the concept of fear, a demon encased in dark energy, Apex Lex, who literally has the powers of the Dark Multiverse, a Merge Sentry, and Death Flash. All of these guys are getting one-shotted. And I'm not even joking. You see, first off, Optimus is immune to death manipulation. Dude literally walked into an entire universe that had the concept. Infinite universe with the infinite concept of death, okay? And again, for the definition, here's Or2. This was also a part of the Dead universe, mind you. So essentially, he also took out people who were bending the concept of death and reality at the same time. Crazy. And let's not forget, Shockwave, before he fully completed his Regenesis program, had to go into these universes and extract these concepts, or at least the materials, to make his new body. Meaning this dude literally had to walk through the concept of destruction in order to get it. But let's talk about the real reason why none of these entities are going to be a problem for Optimus, the Matrix. You know, the same Matrix of leadership that has been able to erase entire dimensions that are literally made of data. Literally just conceptual forms of data. And let's not forget, this thing literally erases evil and dark entities on a regular basis. Beings like Unicron, beings like the Void, all of these are evil entities. And you might say, oh, Legendary, that's not going to matter. You know, Sinestro is fear and, the Void and stuff like that. And Sentry can't die. But again, I'm going to have to ask you this. Has Sentry ever survived erasure existence on such a level? Because keep in mind, with other iterations of Optimus, they can literally channel the power of the Matrix into whatever they want. Energy balls, powerful energy blasts that are able to harm even some of the stronger avatars of Unicron, which are able to transcend their own narratives and even destroy them like they're nothing just to get at their rider. I guess none of the other characters have that. No? Really? No narrative transcendence? Are they even immune to narrative manipulation? Found that very interesting as well. But again, Unicron literally embodies everything negative. Hunger, chaos, fear, entropy. All of these concepts, everything negative, even the very concept of evil itself. And Optimus Prime simply can just blast that and erase it from existence. Like literally, it's nothing. And again, you're going to have to argue that everyone's conceptual form of darkness, evil, and stuff like that is beyond Unicron. Because again, he embodies it. He's a platonic concept. He's the lord of it. The ideal, the very creator of it, essentially. So this means that Apex Lex, Merge Sentry, Sinestro, Spawn, who's literally wearing all that dark energy on him, and Death Flash are pretty much out of there. And the thing about Doom, Brainiac, and Zod, what are they going to do? Again, they're not even in the same ballpark as half of the characters in the last list you gave me. To be kind of honest, these first two were honestly just for free. And again, keep in mind, with Godzilla being in the 616 verse again, I don't even think Zod would be able to beat the likes of Thor, or even in some cases, some armors of Iron Man would actually be able to beat Zod himself. So I guess that is what it is. Vision, Thing, Hulk, Hercules. Let's just be real here. And even Wonder Woman, who wouldn't last against the duo on the last list, has beaten Zod. So honestly, Godzilla or Optimus could honestly just take him on and just eliminate him right then and there. So with that being said here, they actually get through the first 3 rounds with literally barely any issue. But I almost forgot. We ain't even talk about round 3, right? Legion, Uranos, Thanos, and I believe that is Darkseid. Kind of interesting, because I know I talked about Optimus versus Darkseid on this page here, and how Optimus just straight up eliminates him even without Megatron, in all honesty. And then, I've actually argued Monster X beating Uranos, considering they literally have like the same aura, if you will. And I've also argued one of a few versions of Grimlock actually beating Thanos on my channel. So go ahead, head to the Transformers playlist, or head to the Monster Arena playlist. Go ahead and watch those for some fun. But did you know there's actually other versions of Optimus that are meant to just literally box Unicron by, bases? No Matrix needed either, just straight up hands. Yeah, Transtech Optimus is actually meant to do that. And keep in mind, that is a comic iteration, and it takes place actually after Beast Machines. The Beast Machines or Beast Wars continuity. So, actually pretty impressive for someone who never even got in the Matrix. And then we also have the fact that I showed Omega Prime literally fighting against Unicron, who was above Vector Prime and all that good stuff. We also have the fact that Omega Prime was actually able to grab and close the dark or the dead matrix, right? Which was meant to erase the concept of hope from existence. And keep in mind, he grabbed it as the energy was pouring out, meaning he had to withstand that energy as well. Meaning that none of these guys on this list have anything but, just hacks and extra abilities that would probably be able to affect Optimus. And even then, it wouldn't matter because he's likely more powerful than it and can just use the Matrix to just, zap them out of existence. I guess the only one would be Thanos because, again, he has survived his universe being destroyed multiple times. So it's very possible he'll just get jumped and knocked out, unfortunately. And then there's Legion. Legion is a problem. I ain't even gonna, sugarcoat it here. But in all honesty, I don't see him in the same ballpark as characters like Unicron or even some of the 13 original Primes like Megatronus. Yes, I know he has every power in the world, every power in the Marvel multiverse. But again, some of those hacks and abilities would not work. He may even also have some chaotic energies within him, which could make him vulnerable to the Matrix as well. And then there's just Godzilla's just kind of there. He's probably going to be the tank and soak up most of the attacks and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe Optimus Prime might just convince Legion to join him. Probably giving Legion the father figure he never had. But anyway, Optimus versus Legion, I could argue it. Maybe they lose. I don't know. Because some of the hacks and abilities just don't affect Cybertronians the same. They're even immune to magic because of their biology. Their molecules can't be affected by certain things because, again, their biology works differently. They can't even be affected by even higher dimensions of magic like Dungeons and Dragons because of their biology. The only way you're going to kill them is if you can catch them off guard. But even then, their sparks actually defend them. But if you guys really want to talk about that or get a full video about that, go ahead and check out my Ultron video on this page, where I talk about why Ultron just isn't a threat to the Transformer, even a Transformers universe, to be honest, or even like the mainline ones in general. So believe it or not, the only one or only list they actually stop here is really the last one. It's Lucifer. I think that's, yes, Death of the Endless. And then the last one I think is the Sandman with the grandma. But to be kind of honest, there is likely a version of Optimus Prime I could argue, which is Age of the Prime's Optimus. But again, that's not really a comic iteration, so it just doesn't really get here, unfortunately. But that's me all today, guys, and y'all have a blessed day. Peace. Shout out to Shockwave, shout out to Man in the Suit for sending me this video, and yeah, I mean, it's not surprising considering the other videos, but I gotta do it, you already know. But let's start with this here. I can hear the fans crying, but it's true, crossovers aren't a valid source of, valid source material, by the way. Now, I want y'all to think about something real quick, because this has been going on for quite a while. That is not up to you, that is up to the writers of both companies already establishing the fact that, yes, Godzilla versus Marvel, both rounds 1 and 2, are canon. This has already been established. This has already been, interviewed, quotes, everything. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. The same way we tried to debunk Godzilla versus Superman, how it was, not a character as strong as the original Superman. But again, that's what the writer wanted. That's how he portrayed it. And that's how it is for that story. We do not decide that. They do. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And keep in mind that this takes place between the Showa and the Heisei era, which means that Hulk got one-shotted and stumped on by Showa Godzilla. The nicest of the Godzillas, by the way, the most polite one. And again, I understand. Hulk is the strongest one there is. He's fought Thanos. He's fought Thor, the Avengers, overpowered Hercules, Namor, Wonder Man, all at the same time. Shook the multiverse. Been able to clap back the one below all in his realm. All that good stuff. I get it. Alright? But y'all will sit here and have this one-trick pony. Very effective trick, but still. This one-trick pony. Like he's beating everybody. With just that. Oh, all he has to do is just run up on him and punch him. All he has to do, he can tank just about anything they can throw at him. Huh? We saw the same Hulk, right? How he was faring against these higher entities and stuff like that. But maybe, you know what? We ain't gonna go that into here today. I will too be talking about Hulk versus Thanos in another video, because I think it is time we address that kind of stuff here. But you know, the funny part is, I understand that people always say Hulk has gotten stronger over the years, but so has every other character. Like, it's not just Marvel characters that get stronger. It's not just DC characters that get stronger either. We have statements of, you know, other Godzillas being stronger than end of series or end of era Showa. You know, the end of Showa era Godzilla. And we know Heisei, by multiple confirmation you guys just saw, is stronger than Showa, meaning he would be stronger than the Godzilla that fought the Avengers, which is also a Showa Godzilla. And again, I understand Hulk is strong, durable, can absorb radiation, but so can Godzilla. I think I already established that in the last videos I kind of made about him and got Optimus together. But let's talk about Optimus Prime. I think Hulk is going to be happy he's fighting Optimus, because here's the thing. Optimus isn't going to fight the Hulk in a slugfest. He's going to fight him like an actual fighter. One of the few things Hulk has never been able to do. Hulk has no hands. And unfortunately, here's a fun fact. Not only can Cybertronus process information, but it can also process battle information, with Optimus even knowing how to disarm someone like Jetfire 6 different ways. And keep in mind, that was his first interaction with Jetfire as well. And he already knew how to do that. And keep in mind as well, Hulk has been beaten by characters that just simply have the right skill set and the right weapons. You see, the reason why, and you know what, now I'm going to just go into it briefly. The reason why Thanos avoids a confrontation with the Hulk is because he knows a slugfest is just not going to go his way. Hulk's entire gimmick is that if someone fights him in a brute physical fight, he's going to win that. He'll just overpower it and, well, get the dub. But when someone fights him smart, fights him with intelligence, he loses. More often than not. Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive did not bother with that. They took him out quickly. Red Hulk, realizing he was, stronger than him, decided, you know what? I just realized something. You ain't got no hands, bro. And just straight up put this man in a headlock, broke his arm, and then just simply choked him out. You know why? Because he didn't have hands. Hulk basically beat him at the end because he outlasted him. Because again, Red Hulk did not have the stamina. But again, when Red Hulk really wanted to, he put hands on this dude because he was the more skilled fighter. Let's go into someone stronger than Red Hulk. Hercules. Do we need to really talk about that? I mean, even in classic days, Hercules, when he said, oh, you ain't skilled. Shoot, let me hurry up and lock in, right? He's put hands on Hulk multiple times. Even was acknowledged by World War Hulk that because of his strength level and skill set, he could take him down, but he chose not to. Again, even Hulk, probably one of the perfect versions of the Hulk, which again, I do think World War Hulk is his most perfect version, said that Hercules, because of his skill set and power level, or, his strength level, could have taken him down. And that was before he even thought about Worldbreaker. So he acknowledged that Hercules, someone who has the strength to harm him, and the skill that obviously would have surpassed his own, because Hulk really isn't a skilled fighter, could have taken him out. Optimus is way, way more skilled than Hercules. I would even say Cybertronans are the most skilled when it comes to fictional-based characters. Because again, they can copy and apply any skill to their own. And keep in mind, Cybertronians have their own martial arts system, which not many people really like to dive in and talk about, right? And keep in mind, again, this has happened on multiple occasions. Hulk can get taken down by the right skill set and the right weapon set. Black Panther had that man dead to rights before She-Hulk herself interfered. So, at the end of the day, I can agree with Doomslayer, I can agree with Kratos, but really? We already know that Godzilla's already won this and that he's gotten stronger over the years, the same as Hulk. And the fact that Optimus, well, even without the Matrix, is beating Hulk in a physical confrontation, as he's not going to be slugging it out with the Green Goliath. He's going to take him out quickly and efficiently. And keep in mind, there are a lot of characters in fiction that also reach those outer-versal levels that would pretty much spank Hulk in a physical fight. I could honestly name 6 off the top of my head, but hey, let me know down below if you guys want to talk about that entire list. But that's going to be all today, guys, and yeah, y'all have a blessed day, and no hate, by the way. Peace.